I was a big advocate in just having one complete skateboard setup that you can just skate everything with. It's not worth the hassle of having multiple setups for different kind of things that you want to skate. But in the last couple of months, that has entirely changed. My opinion on that has changed because now I actually have 3 different complete skateboard setups, and none of them are cruiser boards. They're all for proper skateboarding. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about these 3 different setups, why I have them, what advantages I've been able to get out of having 3 different setups, and if maybe this is something that you should do as well. Now, I personally hate skating with things in my wallet. It's really uncomfortable and messes with my confidence, so that's why I'm super hyped that the Ridge is a sponsor of this video. They actually hooked me up with this gunmetal aluminum cast strap wallet recently, so I've been rocking it for the last couple of weeks while traveling throughout Arizona, and that's the one thing that's really nice about it. It has RFID protection, so I don't have to worry about anybody stealing my credit card information, and as skateboarders, we're always traveling. We're in and out of places quick, so that's what's really nice. I've been skating with it in my pocket for the last couple of weeks, and I don't have to worry about setting it down or pulling it out at a spot. I don't even notice it, and it's super durable. So if I do slam on it, I'm not really worried about the leather getting messed up, which has happened with a lot of my previous wallets. I love the minimal design. So this is kind of just like a step up. So it's a minimal design with the super durable aluminum on it. So yeah, with those 3 reasons, I am super hyped that the Ridge is a sponsor of this video. They actually did hook me up with a 15% discount code, so it's DOWDY on their website. You can get 50% off. I'll also leave a link down in the description if you're interested in Ridge wallets. So in this video, we are going to be going through these 3 different completes that I've been riding over the course of the last couple of weeks now. And the big difference is now I have I guess you would call this my all-terrain sort of board, my ditch DIY skate park board. I have like a bigger transition board, and I have a Slappy board. Basically, that's what the 3 different purposes of them are for, and it kind of sounds redundant, so I'll sort of explain, or try to explain, why there is big difference in these little subtle changes, especially if you're new to skateboarding or you're just trying to, you know, mix up your skateboarding and keep things fresh. So this board right here is a puller board, and it is 825. So that is pretty small for me. I wanted a board that fitted the trucks really good. And when I'm saying fit, in my opinion, what I like is when you can actually see the axle nut from outside of your wheel when you're looking over your board. So you can just barely see it underneath there. I like that because I think it is just nice. It feels like you can kind of see where your trucks are, and I just feel like it has the best turn to board ratio. So yeah, this board setup is basically for everything. Like I was saying, the wheels on this board are the 56mm NFG Rose V shape. As you can see, they're getting pretty crusty. I've had them for probably about a month now, and they're really good wheels. I really like them, especially like ditch spots or anything that's a little bit rough. They tend to keep their speed really nice. You don't feel every single subtle little change. So being out in Arizona, I definitely had a good advantage to these wheels, especially in ditches and things like that. And I love these trucks still, how they turn. I made a video kind of talking about the nuances between Lure Piv and Aces. So if you're into that, I have been skating the Bones Ribs rails, which I really like. They're a little bit taller than the rails that I was skating before. I was skating the Pig rails, and they're just really thin, so you ended up getting down to the screw really quick. These rails have been pretty nice, and I've actually moved them on to like 3 different decks. I was talking about that with someone. Is normally you just have to like give up your rails on your board, but I've been able to swap them out, which is really nice. So yeah, these bigger wheels, 56mm with kind of the skinnier board, is good for ditches because I can still like get a lot of speed, and I can still sort of, you know, flick my board if I really want to. I just feel like it's not as heavy too. It's not as like chunky. I can get around to tight little spots better. So I've really been enjoying this board. Definitely if I have to go to any one of them, it is this one, although it is a lot smaller and skinnier. So like when I'm skating big bowls and stuff, I definitely do feel like I've had a big advantage with setting up this big transition skateboard. We'll go through sort of what this is right now. This is a crooked Gons board. I made a whole video setting each one of these boards up, but in this video I'm just kind of talking about sort of the advantages that I've been having. At the widest on this one, it is an 8.8 at the very wide, but where the trucks are at the top, it's like an 8.7 at the top almost, and at the bottom, little, almost 8.5 around there. So that's what's kind of interesting. The bottom, it does taper in really nice, and I like that shape because you can kind of get all that scoop for like lean details, backside ollies, backside airs, things like that, and you still have a nice square tail. Some people don't love the square tail, but I really like it, especially if we're doing tail blocks. You have like more room to actually block on, so you're not slipping out on each side of your tail. And it's also just good, I feel like, for tail sides as well. You have more like foot placement, you have more area, your foot's not falling off the edge of the tail, so that's really nice. And then same with up here, you have more space up on this wider sort of egg-shaped board because your foot can move around. So with big transition, you know, sometimes you need to move your foot or you don't land perfectly, but you're going down fast. It's nice to have that extra area for your foot to like move around with. And then same with the nose, how it's all tapered in is really nice for grabbing. So I love doing lean details, backside airs. You don't have to, you know, worry about like grabbing the front or anything. It's very, you're either grabbing this side or this side. It's not pointy. I don't really like super pointy noses, but the nice part of this is just kind of gives you a direction to grab on one side or another, where you can still grab the nose of, you know, a round nose. That's no problem, but it kind of is just less of a sort of like fixed position. Over here you have that like kind of locked in spot where your hand just more locked into it. With the round one, you're kind of just grabbing wherever you grab. So yeah, I've really been liking this big transition shaped board. It's been really fun. I've had a lot of fun with it, skating in pools and skating these Ace trucks. They're really, really fun. They just grind so good. Grinding pull coping them is really nice. They churn really nice. And then the same thing, have the bone ribs on here. And then for wheels, got the split fire 56 millimeter Oski wheels, Formula 4. And these wheels have been staying so good. As you can tell, they're like very, very fresh. And I think partially that is due to the environment I've been skating them. Since I haven't been skating ditches or any like really rough ground, they're not getting chewed up at all. They're staying pretty nice. I pretty much have only been skating this board in skate parks and in backyard pools, which is like the most perfect ground possible. So these wheels are really nice for that. They wouldn't be great for ditches, like where my NFGs are much better, because you would feel every single little bump because they're so hard. And it's just, you probably would go fast, but you wouldn't be able to stay as sturdy on your board. Your board almost like stays more hovering over like rough texture in ditches and DIY spots like that. So these wheels wouldn't be that good for that. But because I'm skating them in skate parks and all these really smooth surfaces, they're perfect for that. And yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun. I feel like I'm getting a lot more confident with skating big transition with this board. So my goal is to learn inverts this year. I need to really work on that. And also my other goal for this year is to learn tray flips. So I'll be using my popsicle. So that's the big advantage of having like this small board and my transition board. I don't have to sort of sacrifice anything. I can still like work on big transition tricks. I can still work on flip tricks, or just getting out of my normal comfort zone with both of these boards, because even though the variation of them isn't super big, it's pretty subtle and makes a big difference when you're actually skating. And then lastly, I got my Slappy board. I actually do need to put some rails on this. I have some sitting in the garage. So that'll be the next move, put some rails on here. These are 215 independent trucks. So there's a lot of truck to grind with this board, which I love. It gets you really locked in there. Sometimes that can be a hard thing because like once you're really into curbs, you really have to like get your way out of it. You can't just like sort of fall off the curb in a way, where with like big wheels, something like this, probably be easier to get off. It'd be harder to lock in. And that's the nice part with this board, is we got these super small wheels on here. They're 52 millimeter, and they're called the Chem wheel. They're C-Rat's friend. This is a C-Rat skateboard made here in San Diego. I made a video actually about Dom, who makes these in his garage. I'll leave a link if you want to check that out. Yeah, this board has been super fun. I haven't utilized it as much when I brought it on the trip to Arizona. Actually, I think I rode it once and we didn't even really do much slapping. One night we did hit some curbs. I ended up using my other this board, I guess you would call it the ATV board, and I didn't even pull this out. I don't know why. I just ended up not wanting to do it. I need to get more comfortable with it for sure. I think putting some rails on it will be extra fun. The thing about this, it's nice, is it's also a really flat board, so you really can just jam straight into the curb, and there's just so much truck again for all the curb to lock into. Having the smaller wheels is nice because you know, you're just really close to get that close contact to the curb. At the same time, it is a little more technical, I have noticed. I almost want to try maybe getting some little bit of bigger wheels on here, because I do feel like you can't skate certain curbs. Like there were some curbs I was trying to skate that have like an angle to them, and you just really couldn't get to the top of them because the board was so low profile. So there are some disadvantages to having like super small wheels in these big trucks. This is kind of a typical Slappy skateboard setup. And I would love to adjust the wheelbase. That is one thing I didn't really talk about, because I'm still trying to find the perfect wheelbase that I really like. You can leave me some suggestions of ways to try wheelbases. I saw Kim Skate Co, who makes these wheels. They have like a wheelbase adjuster where you can actually adjust the wheelbase of your board. So I might try that out and give it a go and see the difference in them, because that's something I need to experiment more with, is like the different wheelbases. But yeah, kind of a lot of fun with these 3 different boards, and you know, there's been a big advantage in between having these 2, especially this like street more ATV setup and my transition kind of bigger board setup. And yeah, hopefully that gives you some context to why I have 3 different complete skateboards, and maybe you want to have multiple skateboard setups, and you can see that, you know, there's some small variations, but there's big advantages to it. And I know not everyone can have this. I'm very lucky to have all these different skateboards. My buddy at the skate shop the other day, we were talking about, he's like, some people collect cars and have a bunch of cars in their garage, and he's like, I just have a bunch of skateboards. And I was like, man, that immediately made me justify. I was like, all right, I can feel better about it now. Like, I'd rather have a bunch of skateboards that I have a lot of fun with that I can use, versus having a bunch of cars, even though I like cars, just not a car person. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this little video, gave you some context. If you have any questions about these different boards, or if you're shopping around looking for something, or you got any advice for me, let me know down below. Now, with all this said, it doesn't mean you have to skate these boards in these environments. Like, you don't have to skate the big transition board only in big transition. I think actually I've been skating this Slappy board with my 215s here at the skate park for the last couple of days, and I've been having a lot of fun, almost more fun on this board than my regular skate park board, because the trucks are so big that like I never miss a front side or backside slash grind. So slash grinding with these big trucks is really fun, and that is something that you'll learn with setting up different skateboards, is you will learn tricks better and faster, because you're going to be more adaptable, and you're just going to be riding something that feels a little foreign. So like, I normally am turning pretty close to my trucks on my regular 159s and my 149s, but with the 215s, I get anywhere near the lip and it's already grabbing, it's already grinding. So maybe if you have troubles with slash grinds on transitions, you set up a Slappy board, and then all of a sudden you have really good slash grinds on transition, and you can sort of adapt that into your transition skateboard setup. So I hope you guys enjoy this little video, some kind of backgrounds as to why I have 3 different skateboard setups, and some of the advantages, because I think I've been having a lot of fun. And with skateboarding, you do it for so long, eventually you just got to mix it up to keep it fun. So that's what I've been doing. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you smash that like button if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. See you guys in the next one. Mash.